Hi, Tom Wood here, and I would like to explain something about uh, people that are sensitive in this system. Now, people that are sensitive and this system where we live, understand it is very important that you from before that you that we all really start to understand that the very fundaments of what we call life on this earth, we call whatever you want to call it, is a sick, sorry, bad system. I would draw you make some very short but describing messages to this. One is with the Vatican in Rome. The Vatican in Rome in the year 1302, the Pope in the Vatican of Rome that year said that by law, the Pope was then making all the laws in this world, and he said that the Pope and the Vatican, the Roman Catholic Church, owns all land, owns all flesh, owns all souls. The Vatican of Rome owns all land, all flesh, all humans, all animals, all mountains, all rivers on this earth. Punctum. And they said that. And they created that law. They created this rule for people to live by. In 1302, it's called Omnium Sanctum. Since then, we have made tons and tons and tons of new laws on top of this law. Other laws specifying and making our lives difficult and hellish would make all these fucked up laws of the individual countries and the systems and everything. But the very fundament is still there of what I just explained about Omnium Sanctum and the Vatican. We don't own our own bodies in this world, not per written laws. Per written laws, this body here, everything you see in this picture, everything on this earth belongs to the Roman Catholic Church. That is done by law in 1302. Omnium Sanctum. It is a law. Do you follow the law or do you not follow the law? So, that is a perspective to say that the system is fucked up. Another perspective is that all the central banks of this world, all the central banks in the United States, in Britain, in Norway, in Sweden, in Argentina, in Brazil, in China, in Australia, in India, in Saudi Arabia, in South Africa, and in Egypt, in Germany, in France, and all the central banks in this world are controlled and owned by the Rothschild family. By the Rothschild family. It has been this way for centuries. They control the world's money. A private family owns and controls the world's money. Now, me growing up in the 1980s, I was born schizophrenic, very sensitive soul growing up in the 1980s, very sensitive being. And when I would go to school and learn about different things, I would notice with my sensor and with my ears and my hearing and my senses, my body, I would sense that something is wrong. Not everything is the way it's supposed to be on this planet. There is something very, very wrong. Perhaps I grow older, I grow into my teens, and I see all these wars and hungers and catastrophes and pollution, everything bad going on as an external projection of how we live our lives within our very mind consciousness systems. And that is what it all boils down to. All this bullshit that we accept and allow to go on of elite families and Pope and everything is a projection of our own mind, consciousness, systems, everything of it. Now, me being a sensitive soul, being schizophrenic, would have a hard time with this, because I would notice that there's something horrible wrong with the systems of this world. Whatever you like to call it, capitalism, socialism, matrix, fascism, whatever, there is something very, very twisted, fucked up wrong with it. And that is how a few handful of people have been directing and managing and controlling the world's money supply for centuries. They've been doing this in all secrecy, with dumbed down, hush, 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 ruling, controlling the world, all the media in the world, controlling all the governments in the world. And of course, a child would see all this metaphysics and all this data and all these errors, all this reacting, all this war, all this sickness, all this pollution, all this crap going on in the world as we know it. And therefore, I had a very hard time going to school, and I still fear going to school. And I feel sorry for all those children who go to school each day only to suit into the system, to obey to the system. So I have to look at myself. I would look at myself and say, okay, I cannot be angry with this, because anger is not a solution. Anger is just another sickness. I have to look at myself, my mind, how I live in relationship with my mind consciousness system, how I live in relationship to my mind, my beingness, and my body, the triangle of myself. I have to look at that relationship and be responsible. And promote solutions, come with solutions, because we need solutions. But also, we need people to investigate for themselves. I don't know about this Rothchild thing is going on, or it's exactly right, or whatever. If you don't believe me, if you don't understand what I'm saying, if you do not understand what the fuck I'm saying, please Google it, investigate about how the Pope and Omnium Sanctum and the Crown Corporation in London, and Washington law in Washington, the military in Washington, and law in Washington, or banking. Not only do they control all the money supply, they also extract, hidden from all our views, billions and billions and endless of money. Each day they extract money from the system and take to their own pockets. They take money from the system that you and me work for on our everyday living. They take it and they keep it to themselves, and then they just whistle along like nothing happened. They milk the system where we can't fucking see what's going on. They milk the system and steal our money, and they keep us enslaving to debt. Most people most people are not yet aware of this. And some people, and every day we see people fighting to defend this system. We see military and police fighting to defend this very system. It is beyond insanity. Now, what we need is clarity within this. We need a clear picture. Okay, it's like this, it's like that, it's like this, it's like that. And that's what we know. That's what we fucking know. It's not just a hunch or idea or belief or whatever, or a thought. It is something that we know is, this is that way, bam, bam, bam. We can see it in front of us. We know what it is, and we know what the fuck is going on. Now, once we know this within our very being and very awareness, we can say that we can talk to this about to friends. Once we've investigated some YouTube videos, some articles, or whatever, and we can talk to people and say that, did you know how the money supply is really fucked up? Or let's talk about that. That is what we need. We need people to talk about this, because money makes this world go around. Money, we still need money for quite some time. But we need a more fair share of money. Today it's insane how a very, very, very few of us have all the money. And we need money to be more evenly distributed to everybody. So we need people to start talking about this. And if you are not secure within this, if you're not stable and secure within how to explain this, how to explain that Rothschilds run all the banking through the central banks, through the IMF and the World Bank and all that, they all have the people in there that control that shit. If you don't understand this or are not certain how to talk about it, please investigate videos on YouTube, articles, anything. For me, as a growing up as schizophrenic, the elements of this would make me suffer. This system made me suffer, made my life extra more difficult. And it does today by the billions. About 1 or 2 billion people go to bed hungry and have not eaten yet in this world. About 40 or 50 people own as much money that is just like insanity. They could cover everything with like that. They could cover all healthcare, all schools, all whatever, or food for everybody and a safe house for everybody. But it's so uneven. The gap is just so insanely fucked up. So we need to bring some sanity to that picture. Now I can only look at myself. I cannot make decisions for you. Whether you investigate this and look at some videos and really learn what the fuck is going on, whether you do that or you don't, that's up to you. But I have to look at myself and say that, okay, I am here, I am breathing, I can be a difference. And by making this video, I want to be a difference. The system we are in, whatever you call it, socialism, Marxism, fascism, Nazism, capitalism, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, it's just play. All the politicians just playing their parts, playing their acts, just the act, just like making you believe that what your vote has to say, just bullshit. It's just lies, endless of lies, endless of lies. Look at the omnum sanctum where the Pope owns your fucking ass. Look at that shit. Omnum sanctum. He owns per law. When there were kings and priests in the 1300s and before that and after that, there was the priests and the kings who were the rulers. And by a systematic design, it still is. So you can say that all physical, all land, all matter, everything that is of matter, or physical, or flesh, or earth and soil and trees and animals belongs to the Vatican. So we have some investigation to do. We have to investigate something, investigate from time into this, and learn what the fuck has been going on in front of our very eyes. And to investigate this, I hope you do. Now you heard what the story is about. I have read this, I have understood this, and I've seen it clearly that yes, this is actual matter. I've seen this actual matter. I've understood this. And I've seen how they steal our money, how they corrupt the whole system, and steal our money and keep us in debt, or in death if you like, slaving to a fucking bank. Never having enough, because we are in debt, all of us. So I ask of you, please investigate this for your own sake, for your children's sake. Investigate some YouTube videos about this. Learn what it's all about. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Let's create solutions. We can have solutions. But first we need to talk about what this whole system is all about. Investigate solutions like transition towns, all sorts of solutions. Time banking, P2P Foundation, Equal Eye Foundation. There's lots of new solutions that are very cool. Lots of new solutions, and we can create a so much better world without borders, without pollutions, if we just start talking about investigating what truth is and creating solutions, not just bashing along in our minds, waking up from our mind and taking responsibility for ourselves, forgiving ourselves for what has been. and changing ourselves so we can change the system. Changing ourselves so we can change the system.